This is it? This is all the people you can get?
I'm so sorry, Rainn. I'm sorry.
Pathetic.
Well, we tried our best. We did try our best. How are you doing?
I'm well. Oh, there I am. Okay, I was.
There you are.
Camera thing. I'm good.
Good. I'm glad. Are you enjoying your time in Denver?
Everyone has asked me that. I got on a plane at 7 this morning. I got picked up by a car at 4 a.m. I got on a plane at 7. I was here at like in 11. I was here at 12. I haven't seen any of Denver.
Like, you know what?
It's supposed to be nice.
Yeah, it is lovely.
What are those mountains out back there? What are
They're just some wee hills.
some wee hills?
Some wee hills out the back.
Yeah, I love everything about Denver except for the sports teams. True.
No, nothing, saying nothing. You know, I went to the show office and they were showing me their array of oxygen in a can. I was
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah, they sell oxygen at the airport.
it's so strange to me.
Idiots. Actually, that's for the tourists. It's not for the natives, right? Okay. Well, I'm a tourist and I'm doing just.
Well, let's start. Okay, Rainn, let's start the panel now. I don't know why I'm speaking like this now. Hi. The series, Rainn.
Alright.
Alright. Or should I do it like this? Yo!
That's better.
Rainn,
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to go back to when you did this Elvis Costello thing, I think, when you were a young lad and you just joined like a drama club.
How did you know this?
Because this is my job and I'm very well researched.
You did some research.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Look, I can do my job, you guys.
Hey.
Who knew?
Yes, Elvis Costello.
Talk us through what you had to do there, because to give us some context, because I had some questions about this.
He made me an actor. I'm an actor because of Elvis Costello, and I got to tell him that in person last year, just a few months ago.
What, so basically, it was. So the thing was, you had to do a scene where you were silent in your room with no one watching. Was that correct?
Yeah, so it's an acting exercise called Private in Public.
Yes.
So you're just in your room or just doing your own thing, but it's not like a performance and it's like no one is watching you. So I had just moved to a new high school outside of Chicago that had a really good acting program, and I was excited to take my very first acting class, and I was really into kind of punk and new wave music at the time, and I put on Elvis Costello. My act, it wasn't an act, being in my room was, I brought in my phonograph and records, and I put on Elvis Costello's Mystery Dance, and I just started like dancing around like a fool, like they say on Facebook, like dance like nobody's watching, and thrashing around, and I got a huge laugh and big response, and it brought the house down, and all of these very attractive young women at this new high school kind of were all like, "Oh, what's your name? You're just moved here. Do you want to sit at our lunch table?" And I had previously been a very kind of pimply nerd who played bassoon and was on the chess team, and then I was like, I eschewed that whole realm of nerddom, and I went full-on drama nerd after that moment in time. So I can mark that moment in time as why I'm here sitting in front of these lovely Denverites today.
Thank you, Elvis Costello. Thank you. I asked that because I was a flute and cello nerd. So
Okay, flute and cello.
Yeah, and then guitar.
Usually you don't do wind instrument and a string instrument.
I'm edgy.
Ah, wow.
Like, I'm an edgy.
Did you do a one-man band, like with this, with that?
Like,
Yeah.
if I like really, yeah, perhaps. You're like with all the stands. But yeah, like you know what, I always wanted to do a performance when I was younger, but what struck me was you just went all out there. What was it from going from the shy, nerdy kid to going, F it? I'm just.
I was always kind of a class clown.
Right.
So I was definitely nerdy and shy and a little bit weird, but I still am a little bit weird, but I always was kind of a goof off, and I would get in trouble for goofing off. So it just was a natural segue, and now I get paid lots of money to do it.
What did Elvis
It all worked out.
say to you when you told him?
I think Elvis Costello was a little freaked out. He didn't know how to respond. He was like, oh. I don't think he'd ever heard that one before.
It's kind of nice being able to, when somebody influences you like that, or there's a demarcation in your history, you can get to say that to somebody and go, hey, that was a really cool moment in my history that led me here, which is lovely.
I love it, and in all seriousness, one of the things I love about coming to these conventions when I meet the fans, and not that I love to hear everyone's life story, because I don't have time, but I'd love to, but at the same time, like the people that share about how much The Office meant to them, and how much it influenced their life, and got them through a hard time. I just met a gentleman who said, he watched it through while undergoing chemo, and how it really revitalized him, and that's just so precious to hear those stories.
I wanted to talk about your podcast because I'm new to your podcast, and I came in quite recently. It was the Serge Tankian conversation you had. Anybody know System of a Down here? I am a huge System of a Down fan, and that's how I found it. What was it like talking to him? Because he's a wonderful, interesting man.
Yeah. So I wrote a book about a year and 4 months ago called Soul Boom: Why We Need a Spiritual Revolution. This was kind of a hobby and / passion of mine, is spirituality as a source of personal transformation and healing, but also societal change and making the world a better place. And I should say, a lot of people don't know what I mean by spirituality. I'm not talking about like ghosts and psychics as much as I'm talking about the kind of deep wisdom faith traditions from the world's religions and great holy teachers. And so I started a podcast, Soul Boom, the podcast, and Serge was one of our first guests. And I've known Serge for years. I've known him. In fact, we were neighbors for a super long time, and just a fascinating guy, one of the most thoughtful human beings you'll ever meet. Just absolutely brilliant. I mean, he writes books and music, he composes scores, he's a painter, a poet, a world traveler. He's an incredible human being.
Have any of those conversations, because I have a podcast as well, and I love long conversations and all sorts of things. It inspires me creatively all the time, despite other creatives. Do you feel that way then going into roles, thinking about your own creativity? Do those people inspire you to push you on, do something new?
Yeah, I'm just so lucky to be in the world of ideas, and besides acting, so when you're an actor, you either audition. Oh, there's people over here. Hi. I'm ignoring you. Hi. Thank you. You know what? They're better looking.
I'm so sorry. I'll look at you and you can look over there.
Yeah, okay. When you're an actor, let's face it, you're given a script and here's a bunch of lines, and your job is to make those lines come to life. That's it, to make them believable that there's a character saying those lines. And that's kind of beginning, middle, and end. That's what being an actor is. So podcasting is the world of big ideas, and the books that I write, they're much bigger ideas about life, society, mental health, struggles, ups and downs, being a human being, and I love just being in that world besides being an actor, and I see it all kind of feeding each other, both sides of that coin.
Well, I love your podcast. It's definitely inspired me on to keep with my own, because it's hard running a podcast as well. It's hard organizing it.
It is. It's a lot. It seems like it's pretty easy. Like, you record a conversation for an hour or two, and then you just put it up. But there's so much more to it than that. Editing and posting is difficult, and preparation and stuff like that.
Admin. Oh my God, I hate admin. I wanted to talk very briefly, I know that you guys will probably have questions about The Office as well. The Office is just such a big part of your life, but I know you've said that at that point in your life, it was also strange because you weren't almost maybe in the moment or present in that moment. It made me think about, I just moved to America last year, and so many things have happened, and there's something about being human that just stops us from enjoying the present moment.
Yeah.
Would you agree? When you look back on that, what would you say to yourself to shake you out of that?
Yeah, this really came out of a conversation I was having with BJ Novak, and we were both saying our biggest regret about The Office is that we didn't enjoy it more while we were on it. And did I enjoy it and have a blast? Of course I did. I mean, it was amazing. It was hysterical and an amazing group of human beings. And we all knew, we were in like season 2, and we all would say to each other, this is going to be the best job that we ever have. Like, it does not get better than this. But at the same time, like you mentioned, there's a kind of profound human ability or disability to not deeply appreciate what we have when we have it. And, as Joni Mitchell says, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Like, we're always in our minds in some kind of wishing some other outcome, wanting something to be different, remorse about the past, fear of the future, that keeps us from just savoring the beautiful moment. And that in a way, that's what the whole show The Office is savoring these beautiful, comedic, crazy moments with this crazy dysfunctional family. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so popular, is it captures that kind of ineffable human experience. But I wish that I had just relished it more while I was in it.
Are you someone that savors the moment now? Do you think about that now and go, right, just stay present, savor the moment now?
I'm much better at it now than I was then. And part of it comes out of, when you're an actor, there's a kind of, I hate the word trauma, but I'm going to use just the word trauma because it's, by the time I'd done The Office, I think I was 15 years into my acting career. So I had been acting for 15 years and pounding my head against the wall and trying to get the next job and like being really like ambitious and trying to move my career ahead. And then I got in The Office, and you have as an actor this fear, like, oh, this is gonna run out, this is gonna be it for me. So even when I was there, it was like more, always wanting more. And I've really finally, over the last 10 or 15 years, been able to let that go, and I'm grateful for that.
We're going to go to fan questions. I want to talk to you so much more about spirituality and all the things, but we need to hand it over to the
Okay, fair enough.
I love it. Didn't even have to say, we've got a mic here, and we've also got a mic here. This side of the room, so go for it. Okay, now, one question at a time, so that everybody can get a wee shot. I sound like my mum. Get a wee shot. All right. Okay, boys and girls.
And one question. Sometimes people go like, I have 2 questions. No, look behind you, idiots. One question.
What he said. Let's start with this side of the room. Hello, my love. What's your name and question?
Hi, my name is Ollie. First off, my mom wanted me to tell you that you were her absolute favorite actor and that Fish Moore was your favorite role of hers, and that she would never kick you out of her hot tub. And my question is, what was your favorite interaction with you and John Krasinski?
Pass. I'm kidding. When I think back of those times, John and I just made each other laugh so much. And the famous birthday party that says "It is your birthday," period, with the brown and gray balloons, when we were on the party planning committee, we could not stop laughing. They had to shut down production. Like, not kidding. they shut it down for 45 minutes because we couldn't stop laughing, and they just had to give us a giant break. And even then, it was hard to like go back to doing the scene. But that was probably my favorite scene.
Thank you very much, Mindy.
I love you so much.
We're going right over here. Love to get up. Hello, you look gorgeous. What's your name and question?
Thank you. I'm Bailey, and my question is just what was like the hardest scene to film with any of your coworkers just because you couldn't stop laughing?
Well, I just answered that. I'll try and think if there's another one. You know, I remember Steve when he was doing Prison Mike. We were so lucky that they filmed him first because we couldn't stop laughing. That was another one that was just could not. You know, when he was talking about Dementors and then he was improvising, like it was nuts. Thanks, Bailey.
Thank you so much. Back over here. Hello there, friend. Name and question.
Hi. Oh, my name is Margot. Thank you so much for coming to Denver. We really appreciate you being here. I love The Office. It means a lot to me, but right now, Soul Boom, the podcast, is so incredible. It's inspiring. I love hearing it every week. Your guests are so diverse, both in experience and life, everything. And I'm just wondering if you could speak to, like, what's your process of finding guests? Are you wanting to go for people who have totally different perspectives on things? Are you trying to get people who are more aligned with kind of what you feel? Kind of, what's your process in doing that?
Thanks for asking. What a thoughtful question. Yeah, it's obviously when you have a podcast, you know, your guests are the podcast. You know, I try and just be the host. I try not to kind of hold forth and let them do the talking. But I am intrigued by what it means to be a human being, the mystery of life, the meaning of life, spiritual topics and ideas. But you know, what does that mean? I don't want to just sit there and talk about prayer and angels, you know. So what I really mean is, how do we get wisdom, and how do we cope with the struggles of life? How do we get through anxiety and depression and loneliness and mental health issues? So one thing I love to have on the podcast are comedians, because comedians will talk about anything. And you can ask a comedian and they will go there. You know, that you'll say, what's the saddest you've ever been? Or what's the most fucked up you've ever been? And they will go there. Actors won't do that, but comedians will. And then I like to have kind of spiritual thought leaders as well. You know, we had Annie Lamott and Kate Bowler. Next week we have a Buddhist meditator who's also an actor and just a brilliant philosopher. So I like to mix it up between people that no one has ever heard of and then some larger names as well.
Thank you for your wonderful question. Thank you. Over here. Let's go this side of the room. What is your name and question? You look so great, by the way.
Thank you. My name is Erica. Sorry, my allergies are terrible, so I'm a bit squeaky. I'm actually an embalmer in real life, and you played an embalmer on 6 Feet Under.
Yes.
Yes, and I wanted to, in all the spirituality and everything, I'm just curious, did you ever get to work in a mortuary for real? I know Alan Ball did some stuff with SCI, which is why the show's so accurate and fantastic. So thank you for that.
Will you embalm me?
Yeah. I'm the best in Colorado, by the way, so yes, I will.
Are you handing out cards here?
We have one, yeah.
That would be a little odd to be like, hi, I'm an embalmer. You go up to the older set.
And
like,
facial reconstruction, too.
doesn't look like you've got much longer, just so you know. Actually, I don't think I would be embalmed, because I think I would just rather just have my body decay.
Yeah.
But fair enough. I didn't get to do any research, but we had, on 6 Feet Under, we had people from the Cypress, is that what it is? College?
Yes, well, and the Dallas Institute probably, and
Okay.
I know Service Corporation International had a bit to do.
Okay, yeah, so there were experts on the set giving us tips about which was very strange. Now here's how you would roll a dead body onto a gurney and off of a gurney. And it was pretty macabre, but it was a lot of fun too.
Good. Well, you just really did a good job. So
Thank you.
So much inaccuracies, and you guys were very accurate.
Oh, that's great.
If you haven't seen 6 Feet Under, check it out.
So
Yeah.
great show. Thank you. Yes, and Balmer in Colorado, everybody. Thank you. Hi there, friend. Name and question.
I'm Z. So I just recently watched Juno for the first time, and new favorite movie. But I freaked out when I saw that you were in it, and so I was just wondering, were you originally gonna have more scenes in it, or was it just the plan that you were just gonna be in the beginning?
Well, that's one doodle that can't be undid, home skillet. And by doodle, I mean question. No, it was a small part. It was a supporting part. There was one other little scene that was cut out, but it was a very little scene, just a handful of lines. One thing that's very funny is that we staged an argument between me and the director, Jason Reitman, and leaked it online. And it's still you can find a Juno, Rainn Wilson, Jason Reitman argument, and still people are just I can't believe you did that. What an asshole you are. But yeah, how much fun. That movie is one of those just rare little beautiful miracles of a movie. It really is a perfect film. Thanks.
Thank you, my friend. Hello, my dear. What's your name and question?
Hi, my name's Carly. So I'm a huge fan of The Office, but my question today is about We Are the Champions. Was there a subculture or a competition that you wanted to include in the show that just didn't make the cut?
Oh my God, that's a callback to about 4 years ago when I produced and narrated a documentary series for Netflix called We Are the Champions that went into kind of strange competitive subcultures. And that was poodle dancing and cheese rolling and frog jumping and these people that took them very, very, very seriously. And I don't remember off the top of my head, to be honest, because it's several years now, but we had a flurry of emails going back and forth about all of the different crazy competitions, Tiddlywinks and Donkey Kong and the things that people get really, really intense about. It's really heartbreaking that Netflix didn't do more seasons of it, because it actually did quite well. It was in the top shows for several weeks. It was super fun to do. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Back over here. Hello, my dear. What's your name and question?
I am Samuel, and I was wondering, so your character Dwight is pretty famous for being pranked by Jim on The Office. Was there ever a prank that went too far off set?
Either your hat is too big or your face is too small. We'll figure it out. People ask that a lot, because you see a prank almost every single episode, right? There must have just been hundreds, 200 episodes. I don't know if it was every single cold open that had a prank, but 150 at least. And people are like, oh, you must have been doing pranks off the set. It's no, we worked really hard to stage those pranks. So there weren't really those, but I will say that when Jim stabbed the yoga ball with the letter opener, most of the takes were me going, psst, and that's how they thought it was going to go. But one of them, he did it, and it just went poof, and I fell down on my coccyx. Look it up. And it hurt a lot, so I had a sore coccyx. That's what she said.
Thank you for your question. Let's go over here. What's your name and question, friend?
Hi, Rainn. My name's Elise. Nice to meet you from afar. It's an honor. My question is about 6 Feet Under. My family and I started watching that show when it came out, and we really liked your character, Arthur. When you left, we were really sad, and we started watching The Office, and we were like, oh my God, it's Arthur. What did you have in your mind? Did you have an idea of where Arthur would have gone if you had continued on that show?
Oh, great question. Yeah, the problem with 6 Feet Under was they literally couldn't make me a series regular. So when you watch a TV show, there's usually there's usually series regulars that are there every episode, then like recurring characters, that's what I was, or guest stars. But recurring characters get paid very, very little. And series regulars get paid very, very well. But they didn't have it in the budget to make me a series regular. So I started booking all this other work, movies and even The Office and stuff. So they wanted to keep me. I wanted to stay, but literally I couldn't make my schedules work out, and I think they were just paying me SAG minimum. But it was an amazing job, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'd like to think that there would be a great spin-off of 6 Feet Under with me as older Arthur running a funeral home. That would work out pretty cool. So
thank you so much.
Thank you. Over here. Hello, Frank. What's your name and question?
Hi, Rainn. My name is Hector. I am from the unattractive side of the room. So
can we go over here? Yes, Hector.
My question is regarding your musical inclinations. There's a couple, perhaps 3 episodes in The Office where you appear like you're playing the guitar. So first, were you actually playing the guitar? And what role does music play in your life? Do you play often? Is it an important part of your life?
Thank you, Hector. Great question. Yeah, so I do play guitar. I play what I would call campfire guitar. Like I can play like I Want to Hold Your Hand and Kumbaya and stuff like that. But so that was fun. Also, the recorder played several times. I have a
bassoon as well.
Bassoon, yes. I wrote a comedic memoir of my life called The Bassoon King, because I played the bassoon in orchestra as well as the chess team and Model United Nations and debate club and pottery club. So I'm one of you, is what I'm saying. But yeah, I played a lot of different instruments. I grew up playing the piano, and I played xylophone in the marching band. That is the nerd cred of all time. The guy who's in the marching band going ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding, 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 ding-a-ling, ding, ding, ding. So that was fun. And then I did a movie called The Rocker that came out about 12 years ago. Thanks. 17 people who saw that movie, and I played the heavy metal drums in that. So I do play some drums. My son, Walter, is a musician. He plays guitar and drums. He's much more talented than I am. But yeah, it's super important. I've always loved music. I talked about that Elvis Costello, like music's a big, super important part of my life. And I got to play Dr. Demento in Weird Al Yankovic story. And I was talking to Al Yankovic because I think I'd like to pick up the accordion. For real. I think that would be, I know it's super, super hard, but it would be so much fun to play.
Thank you for that question. Thank you. Over here. You can move the mic down if it's too hard for you, my friend. That's it. What's your name and question?
That's Daenerys Stormdragon. No. She's a Wifflepuff or something.
Go on, what's your name?
Who are you? What do you do? Well, you have Daenerys hair, but then you got Harry Potter outfit. What's up?
I'm Draco Malfoy.
Okay.
Okay, Draco, what's your question?
Would you go back for a Rocker 2?
No one saw The Rocker 1. Why would they make The Rocker 2? Yeah, I would do Rocker 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the way, The Rocker one of, if not the first, one of the very, very first roles for Emma Stone. Multiple Academy Award winner Emma Stone played the bass player in the movie. Josh Gad, we had an incredible cast. So I'd love to do that. They don't really make comedies anymore, do they? Hollywood doesn't really make comedies.
They used to. Thank you. Sorry, thank you very much. You look gorgeous, by the way. Round of applause. Thank you so much, my love. Hi there, friend. Name and question.
Hi, my name's Ainsley. I was having a question about all the jokes and pranks that Jim put on Dwight. Which one was your favorite, besides the coccyx one?
Watch your language, young lady.
Sorry, no can do.
My favorite was when they moved Dwight's desk into the bathroom. Colder, warmer, and then he finds it in the bathroom. And what I love about it is that then Jim calls Dwight to ask about the price on paper, and Dwight answers the question seriously, and then the toilet flushes. Kevin walks out. You can imagine the odor there, and I just love the detail of following the phone cords into the bathroom. It was beautifully sculpted, perfectly sculpted piece of comedy.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, my name is Caitlin. I recently watched Geography of Bliss and really, really enjoyed it. And right afterwards watched Super. And so I saw a lot of just misery in both of those things. And you talked about your tendency towards grump in Geography of Bliss. So I'm wondering, how do you sort of keep yourself not falling into misery when you're in a role that is full of misery?
Thank you. That's a great question. I talk a lot pretty candidly on my podcast and on other people's about my struggles with anxiety and depression in the past, with loneliness, addiction, alienation, all of the different aspects of mental health that so many young people are dealing with in this day and age. And it's one of the reasons why I like to have what I would call spiritual conversations. What are spiritual conversations? The soul, the meaning of life. Why are we here? Is there a God? How does one find peace? How do we find transcendence? How do we connect more deeply with nature? And these questions for me are not just like philosophical questions like, oh, this is interesting to chat about, like we're getting stoned in a college dorm room when we're 19, but really for me they were a necessity. Because these tools, spiritual tools, helped me and have and continue to help me. So meditation is a daily part of my life, and prayer and using gratitude, and some of these tools help me to live a more rich and balanced life. And if I don't, I can fall pretty easily into anxiety and self-destructive behaviors. Thanks.
Thank you so much. This question will have to be our last question because we're running out of time. So I'm going to have to ask everyone on this side to leave and everyone behind this lovely person to leave. But thank you very much.
Thanks for lining up.
Yeah.
You guys are really good at making lines here at
Thank you. Hello, my friend. What's your name and question?
My name's Kieran, and I was wondering what your favorite Halloween episode on The Office was to film.
Oh, thanks for that. What an interesting question. Two things just pop into my head. One was when I was a Sith Lord, and Michael had another twin doppelganger, Michael, on his shoulder, and the Sith Lord was talking to Michael's other head, and we were kind of improvising there. I forget exactly what we said. Probably half of you know all those lines. But that was really great. Paul Feig directed that one. It was a really great episode. But I also really liked There was something so beautiful and sad about the pumpkin head getting stuck on Dwight. And him saying very like longingly like, well, it should rot off in a couple of months, you know? And that was a kind of existential comic conundrum of a giant pumpkin head stuck on a human head. It was kind of like that kid with the giant hat. So, those are two of my favorites. Thank you so much, Karen.
We better already posted it. Back questions. I would like to say thank you so much. I very much enjoyed listening to your words online. Specifically, I hope people share the same sentiment here about these open conversations about mental health, spirituality, and busting the myth that spirituality is all woo-woo nonsense. You can have open conversations about things.
Yeah.
And it does help ground you and gives meaning, I think, to some people's lives. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for saying so. It's a pleasure. Isn't she a wonderful host? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Rainn, we're going to do a stage selfie after. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
So for those who can stand up, please stand up and we'll do a stage selfie. And we're going to call Lance. Lance! Who's going to come take it for us? Is that
Okay, great.
Okay, right, everybody stand up. Lance. Can we have a round of applause for Lance? He's working very hard. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just start whipping and cheering. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Rainn Wilson, everybody!
Spectrum rules!